Welcome. Take It Up with Jessica Lee. I'm here with Dori White, who is head of field and partner marketing at ePlus. Hi, Dori.
Hi, nice to be with you, Jessica.
So glad you can join the show. I know that it's a challenging time for marketing, especially those who used to do a lot of on-site events and conferences, now having to shift completely to a digital platform. And you've been doing something phenomenal at ePlus that I thought would be very helpful for marketers to hear some of the best practices and tips that you can share in how you manage to still do that engagement with prospects and clients during this shelter in place.
So it has been a very challenging time for the field and partner marketing team. We've been working on very creative ways with our partners. We have really come together in a way that we never have before, that we could reach out to our customers and our prospects. That is still top of mind, is making sure that they are okay, and also what we are going to do going forward from a marketing perspective, and also the responsibility of, still driving business and creating pipeline for sales. So all of those factors are coming together in a very challenging way.
I think people are trying to find a platform that will enable them to handle the scale of attendance now, right? They may not be used to the massive amount of people they have to attract all at once on a webinar event or a conference event. And I know there are a lot of technologies out there. Maybe you can share some of the features, the possibilities that you can do with these modern tools.
Yes, so a lot of our live events have been moved to webinars. That is one way that we are engaging with existing customers as well as prospects, and communicating internally as well. So we have been using a specific platform, and when we did our research and what we were looking for in a platform, it is something that can handle a large scale of audience. And the one that we use also allows us to do other things that engage with the customer while they're watching the webinar. So there could be live streaming, there could be demos that are shown while they're on the WebEx or while they're on the webinar. And then in addition to that, we attach different content to these webinars so that it can be white papers and videos and links, URLs to different web pages. So there are other resources that we can include with the webinar as they're watching, and download other assets to follow up. So those are things that we've been looking for. We have seen about a 60% increase, a growth in our audience on this platform since we've all been work from home.
Wow, that's great. 60% is a huge number. Are you able to do like interactive feedback or surveying with them while they're in the webinar?
Yes, we can. So they're called polling questions, and it's a great tool for us to use. We learn about the customer, we learn about who's on our site, who's watching while they're there, and it gets us we collect some great information from that. So we do some polling questions, and then at the end, usually we will have a contest. If you've listened, you've answered all the questions, you are eligible for something else. And since we've been doing this on such a large scale, we've also retained a telemarketing company for follow-up, so that when it's time to hand over these leads, they are more of a sales qualified lead at that point that can turn over to our sales team.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about that, because it's a journey, right? You're building awareness, attracting them to the event, helping them to better understand and guide them through this process. And then next would be down the funnel, handing it over to inside sales. Your inside sales team is actually part of the marketing team, right? It's not part of the sales team. Or is it?
Well, we do have an inside sales group that is part of the sales team. Our telemarketing company, that is really a branch of our inside marketing team.
I see. So you've got the webinar, then bringing them to the telemarketers. The marketers then qualify them, hand them over to the inside sales team.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
What other best practices or tips can you share in terms of the telemarketers working with you and sales, inside sales? What are they doing that's effective?
So, well, they're actually watching the webinar, so they have the content. They're familiar with what they're calling about. We obviously chose a partner that is very involved in IT, and they know our business. And they're professionals. They know how to call, how to engage people. They're following up for us on the webinars. We have some digital campaigns that are running. They're following up on those as well. And it's a meaningful conversation right away. As soon as that webinar is over, we can start with that and show the customer that we've paid attention. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of it. And we appreciate it, and we're here to help.
So you're seeing a 60% interest in engagement. Are you saying that 60% of attendees are they interested in talking with the telemarketers?
No, that's a high percentage. The 60% is our audience growth on the platform. Mm-hmm. So that has happened. Actually, that 60% has happened since April 8th. So that's how many IT professionals are going onto various platforms looking for content. So that's a large number.
Yes, that's huge. And but what conversion rates are you seeing in conversations after the webinar?
We would be happy with a 5%, 10% conversion. We would be very happy with that. And then the platform that we chose also provides some fantastic analytics for us. We know that compared to our peers, we have a higher retention rate. People are staying on our webinars longer than our peers, so our content resonates, and they are actually returning for multiple webinars.
That's good insights there. Sounds like you've got something that's working really well. So let's talk about the overall demand out there. I'm hearing a lot of companies are putting budgets on hold. They're putting hiring on hold. What are you hearing from folks attending your webinars?
So, the IT industry as a whole is, we operate on disruption, and we know how to react to that. And I think that from IT industries, you're seeing, people need these services. It's work from home. So, our cloud business, our security business, our collaboration, our managed services, finance, all have maybe shifted a little bit in what we originally anticipated now with work from home, but it's all necessary, and we are definitely continuing to do business.
Very good. I'm glad to hear that. I think that a lot of folks need to still somehow make that shift. They haven't done it 100%. And then with this situation, then they're accelerating that shift to making sure everything is accessible for mobile workforce.
Yes. And that's also, those are the topics that are important right now. If we're not focusing on what is important in the situation that we are currently dealing with, people are maybe putting that on hold, but we have meetings daily to discuss what is it going to look like in the future. We are prepared for the future, what that might be, and how when we start to gradually come out of this, what that workload is going to look like for our customers, and how we're going to be there to help them manage that and succeed in the next environment.
I want to ask about your leadership. Now, you've been in tech and in the reseller managed service space, and at ePlus, I know it's a very big bar. And so I wanted to get your take on being women in tech in this area where I think it's a lot of men in the IT field. What career tips would you like to share with the female professionals out there?
So we do a program called GRIT, Girls Reimagining Technology, and it is focused on middle school girls really around cybersecurity. And it's a terrific program. And these girls start off very quiet and shy. And in the end, they're creating videos. And just think, now that they're not in school, this was a school program, these girls now are turning to video, and we are discussing, we're keeping in touch with them and discussing and continuing the program all virtually. So it's wonderful. You need the support. You need all the women behind you to encourage you, make you feel confident, support you. That's invaluable in succeeding. And there's plenty of men that attend these women in technology events as well. They support the women, but the friendship and the support really allows you to achieve what you're looking to accomplish. And it's probably the best relationships that I have formed over my career.
That's good. Grit, right? That's easy to remember.
Correct. Yes, you can find it on the ePlus website.
Okay, wonderful. I want to ask you about the challenges that you face now. I know that the online webinar has been very successful, but what challenges do you face and what are you looking forward to overcoming?
The challenge is making it different. So now that we know, and believe it or not, you have the same challenge when it was live events. Yeah, whether it be workshops, a lot of our competitors, we work with the same partners, our customers have choices. So why ePlus? And, it's that partnership that we offer, the thought leadership, and the fact that we care about our customers and doing what is right for them. So I would say the challenges are still there. Now it's a little bit different on how we differentiate ourselves in a webinar environment. So, your company, they have choices. They have choices of which workshop they would have attended live and what webinar they want to attend online. So how is our content going to separate us from our competitors?
Excellent. Is there anything else in marketing that you're doing that you would suggest people do or don't do?
So the funny thing is we had some ideas for campaigns that were going to be live. And when we discussed them before this happened, we said, you know what, maybe it would be better money spent to do this digitally and do something interactive and engaging for our customers that they have a place to go to. We could even tie that to sales and create a sales competition around some of our campaigns. So we were kind of fortunate with some of the things that we had originally planned and where our budget dollars were being spent, that we did shift them digitally to begin with. So we have some very new and exciting campaigns that are going to launch next month that we kind of coincidentally was good timing for what is happening.
Great. Well, I look forward to seeing what you're going to launch next month.
Yeah, me too.
Thanks for being on the show, Dori. It's been fantastic to hear the best practices that you're sharing with us for the online webinar in particular. I think a lot of people appreciate hearing that.
Good. Well, thank you so much for having me.
There you have it. Check it out with Jessica Lee, Dori White from ePlus.